On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Creature.
A living being, especially an animal.
Examples:
Creature of habit. Artificial creature. The deep-sea creature was unlike anything the scientists had ever seen before.
Define.
To state or explain precisely the nature, scope, or meaning of something.
Examples:
Define a word. Define my position. To advance this discussion, we must define success rigorously.
Instruction.
Detailed direction, order, etc., on how to do or use something.
Examples:
Individual instruction. Follow his instructions. They needed further instruction to perform their duties efficiently.
String.
Long, thin material used for tying things together, composed of several twisted threads.
Examples:
Retie the string and make it strong. Tense piano strings. She wore a string of pearls around her neck.
Precise.
Sharply exact or accurate or delimited.
Examples:
Precise analyses. Estimate precise costs. The content is precise and informative for me.
Sequence.
A series of related events, actions, numbers, etc., which have a particular order.
Examples:
The sequence of the seasons. The DNA sequence. We do move forward with those tasks in sequence next week.
Basis.
The most important facts, ideas, or events from which something is developed, the way how things are organized or arranged.
Examples:
On an equal basis. Basis for calculation. This evidence will form the basis for our discussion.
Trait.
A particular feature of your nature.
Examples:
Chemical trait. Personality traits. Multiple genes may influence behavioral traits concurrently.
Advancement.
The development, improvement, or progress of something.
Examples:
Advancement of knowledge. Career advancement. Competition between countries resulted in fast technological advancement.
Edit.
To prepare written material for publication by correcting, condensing, or otherwise modifying it.
Examples:
Edit a history book. Edit a video. I need to edit this document before submitting it to my boss.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
fundamental education, fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Feat.
A notable or impressive achievement, especially one that requires great skill or bravery.
Examples:
intellectual feat, feat accomplishment. It is an incredible feat to climb Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world.
Engineer.
A person whose job is designing, building, or maintaining something such as machines, structures, or software.
Examples:
a civil engineer, engineer shortage. The engineer will repair my telephone tomorrow morning.
Drought.
A long period of time during which there is very little or no rain, leading to a shortage of water and often causing damage to crops and other vegetation.
Examples:
periods of drought, drought conditions. The region has been experiencing a severe drought, leading to water shortages and crop failures.
Resistant.
Not affected by something, especially changes or new ideas, of or relating to immunity to disease or infection.
Examples:
penicillin-resistant bacteria, resistant to persuasion. Insects in urban areas are becoming resistant to insecticides.
Crop.
A plant that is cultivated in large amounts, particularly for food.
Examples:
crop field, crop herbicide. Sow early for an early crop.
Infectious.
Able to be passed quickly from one person, animal, or plant to another, especially through air or water.
Examples:
an infectious fever. Person's smile is infectious. Leprosy is an indolent infectious disease.
Outbreak.
A sudden start of something, usually a disease or something dangerous or unpleasant.
Examples:
infectious disease outbreaks. The outbreak of hostilities. The government predicts an epidemic outbreak of multiple viruses, including coronaviruses and influenza.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
develop a strategy, develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Genetic.
Of or relating to genes, equals parts of the DNA in cells, or the science of genes.
Examples:
have genetic testing. A genetic disorder. Understanding protein folding is a vital step in deciphering the genetic code.
Disease.
A disorder or illness that affects the body or mind, often characterized by specific symptoms or abnormal functioning of organs or systems.
Examples:
disease prevention, disease control. The doctor diagnosed him with a rare disease that had no known cure.
Responsible.
Answerable or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management.
Examples:
responsible action, responsible for customer service. She's a responsible pet owner who ensures her dog gets enough exercise and a healthy diet.
Medical.
Relating to the treatment of illness or injuries, relating to the practice of medicine.
Examples:
a medical opinion, temporary medical treatment. The medical team worked quickly to save the patient's life.
Marvel.
Someone something that causes feelings of wonder or surprise.
Examples:
a marvel of beauty, technical marvel. The space shuttle is a modern engineering marvel.
Surprisingly.
In a way that causes amazement or wonder.
Examples:
surprisingly advanced culture. Have surprisingly little effect. The exam was surprisingly tricky for everyone.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
process improvement, decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Function.
The purpose or use of an object, system, or process, a particular activity or operation that is designed to serve a specific purpose, a mathematical concept that describes a relationship between two sets of values, called the input and output sets. Verb, to operate or work in a specific way, or to perform a particular task or purpose.
Examples:
function properly, immune function. The brain is an incredibly complex organ that controls the body's function.
Bacteria.
Single-celled or non-cellular spherical or spiral or rod-shaped organisms that exist in large numbers in the air, water, and soil, and also in living and dead creatures and plants, and are often a cause of disease.
Examples:
pathogenic bacteria, harmless bacteria. Bacteria prevalent in hospitals are often resistant to antibiotics.
Immune.
Protected against a particular disease or toxin due to the presence of specific antibodies or sensitized white blood cells.
Examples:
immune from criminal prosecution. The cell of the immune system. The vaccination does not necessarily make you completely immune.
Defend.
To protect someone or something from attack, criticism, danger, etc.
Examples:
defend my country. Defend against a threat. International law allows each nation to defend itself when its rights and interests are illegally violated.
Archaea.
A group of single-celled microorganisms distinguished from bacteria by their unique cell wall structure and biochemical characteristics, which are found in extreme environments such as hot springs and salt flats.
Examples:
Archaea microorganism. Thermophile archaea. The study of archaea is important for understanding the origins of life on Earth.
Invade.
To enter aggressively into another's territory by military force for conquest and occupation.
Examples:
invade other tissues. Invade his privacy. I have no intention to invade your privacy.
Virus.
A tiny infectious organic material that causes disease in people, animals, and plants.
Examples:
spread of the virus. A strain of virus. An infected person in the hospital will likely pass the virus to others.
Naturally.
As might be expected, by natural manners.
Examples:
naturally arising. Naturally regenerated forest. He was naturally gifted.
Component.
One of several parts that combines with others to form something bigger.
Examples:
key component. Spare components for cars. The researchers try to discover a common component in all types of successful organizations.
Snippet.
A small piece or brief extract of something.
Examples:
snippet of wisdom. Code snippet. The journalist saved a snippet of the interview for later reference.
Repetition.
The act of doing or saying something many times.
Examples:
repetition of a word. Habitual repetition. Repetition is the mother of all learning.
Cluster.
A group of similar things or people close together, often forming a distinct mass or unit.
Examples:
live in a cluster. A cluster of stars. A cluster of grapes hung from the vine.
Regularly.
At regular intervals or times.
Examples:
regularly arranged. Post regularly to a blog. This site regularly shares high-quality academic materials.
Interspace.
The space between objects or parts, especially between two closely positioned objects, an interval or gap between two things.
Examples:
Interspace for natural light. Interspace between teeth. The surgeon made an incision in the interspace between two ribs to access the patient's lungs.
Palindrome.
A word, phrase, or sequence of characters that reads the same backward as forward, such as race-car or level, of medicine and genetics, a sequence of DNA or RNA that is the same when read from 5' 5', denoting ends of DNA or RNA, to 3 on one strand and from 5 to 3 on the complementary strand.
Examples:
Palindrome phrase. Palindrome number. The word deified is an example of a palindrome, where it reads the same backward as it does forward.
Protein.
A molecule made up of a long chain of amino acids, which is essential for the structure and function of the body's tissues.
Examples:
Stress protein. Protein synthesis. The body needs a certain amount of protein to build and repair tissues.
Chop.
To cut something into pieces with a sharp tool, such as a knife.
Examples:
Chop wood. Chop a meat with a knife. The cook chopped the vegetables for the soup.
Molecular.
Of or relating to molecules, equals a group of two or more atoms held together by attractive forces known as chemical bonds.
Examples:
Molecular structure. Molecular biology. Molecular weight is the sum of all the atoms.
Segment.
A part or section of something, a distinct group within a larger whole.
Examples:
Segment analysis. Market segment. The report divided the data into segments based on age, gender, and income level.
Viral.
Relating to or caused by a virus.
Examples:
Fight viral infections. Detect a viral code. This device can more accurately detect viral pathogens.
Stitch.
One of the tiny thread lines visible on a piece of fabric after it has been sewn.
Examples:
A stitch in a garment. Pattern stitch. The wound was so deep that it needed a surgical procedure and stitches.
Capture.
To catch a person or an animal and confine them in an area which they cannot escape.
Examples:
Capture a glimpse. Capture customers' hearts. I was able to capture the moment on film.
Chemical.
Relating to or connected with chemistry.
Examples:
toxic chemicals, a chemical compound. The firm has grown into a large chemical manufacturing.
Snapshot:
an informal photograph, especially one taken quickly.
Examples:
take a snapshot, developed snapshot. There were framed snapshots of family and friends in her room.
Infection:
a condition in which pathogenic microorganisms or viruses have entered the body.
Examples:
a bacterial infection. Treat the infection with antibiotics. Hospitals must meet various standards to prevent nosocomial infections.
Molecule:
a group of two or more atoms held together by attractive forces known as chemical bonds.
Examples:
small molecules, molecule behavior. The shape of the DNA molecule is a double helix.
Bind:
to tie or fasten someone or something tightly with rope, string, etc., so that they cannot move or are held together strongly.
Examples:
bind the man's hands. Bind old letters into a bundle. The company's rules bind the employees' working hours.
Complexity:
the state or quality of being complicated or intricate and difficult to understand.
Examples:
cognitive complexity, complexity theory. The project's complexity made it difficult for the team to complete it on time.
Scout:
a person or group sent out to obtain information, gather intelligence, or make observations, typically in a military context. A person or group sent out to explore or prospect for new opportunities, resources, or locations.
Examples:
Boy Scout, Scout Troop. The company sent a scout to explore new business opportunities in the overseas market.
Latch:
a device for holding a door or gate closed, typically a sliding bar or bolt.
Examples:
set the latch, latch mechanism. The latch on the gate was broken, so the cows got loose.
Recognize:
to acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples:
recognize talent, recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Immediately:
now or without delay.
Examples:
immediately recall a product. Write him an answer immediately. A suspension order from the court is effective immediately.
Swift:
happening, moving, or capable of moving quickly.
Examples:
take swift action. A swift current of a river. Her voice was swift, yet ever the last words fell lingeringly.
Destroy.
To ruin or damage severely or completely, to eradicate or eliminate completely.
Examples:
destroy the ecosystem. Destroyed evidence. The building was destroyed in the fire and had to be rebuilt.
Mechanism.
A part of a machine, or a set of parts that performs a task, a natural or established process that occurs during a specific situation or reaction.
Examples:
the mechanism for DNA replication. Defense mechanism. He discovered unique mechanisms for photochemical reactions.
Hijack.
To seize control of an airplane or other vehicle during an operation, especially with violence.
Examples:
hijack a helicopter. Hijack a phone number. He made a desperate effort to hijack an airliner.
Gene.
The fundamental unit of heredity and the sequence of nucleotides in DNA that codes for the creation of RNA or protein.
Examples:
gene expression. Gene cloning. A defective gene is responsible for the disease.
Specific.
Clearly defined or particular to a certain thing or situation, distinct, explicit, and precise.
Examples:
specific instructions. Industry-specific regulations. The scientist conducted a study that provided specific details about the species' behavior.
Typo.
A mistake made in typing or the reproduction of a text.
Examples:
full of typos. Typo-free resume. I noticed a typo in the company's annual report, stating the wrong profit margin.
Lab.
A workplace for the conduct of scientific research, a laboratory.
Examples:
lab instrument. Medical lab. The Prime Minister will pay a courtesy visit to the Nobel laureate's lab.
Attach.
To fasten, join, or connect one thing to another.
Examples:
attach firmly. Attach a file to an email. He does not attach importance to these rumors.
Snip.
To trim or cut something, especially with scissors or shears, to remove a small part or piece from something with a quick cut or slice.
Examples:
snip a lock of hair. Snip the wire. I must snip the loose thread on my shirt before it becomes a bigger problem.
Inject.
To put a liquid such as a drug or other substance into a person's or an animal's body using a needle and syringe equals small tube.
Examples:
Inject under the skin. Inject a personal opinion into a debate. Let's try to inject a bit of enthusiasm into your performance.
Bound.
To move forward by leaps and bounds, to form the boundary of something.
Examples:
Bounded with delight. Bound up a staircase. Canada bounds on the United States.
Practically.
Almost or nearly.
Examples:
Practically constant. Practically impossible to find a parking spot. The store is practically empty.
Genome.
The complete set or sequence of genes of a human, animal, plant, or other living things.
Examples:
Sequencing of the human genome. Genome analyses. The human genome contains approximately 3 billion chemical base pairs.
Typical.
Having the usual characteristics or traits of a specific group of things.
Examples:
Typical leader. Fairly typical symptoms. This artwork is typical of her work.
Nucleus.
An enzyme that breaks down nucleic acids such as DNA and RNA into smaller fragments by breaking the bonds between nucleotides.
Examples:
Restriction nuclease. DNA nuclease. The nuclease enzyme is important for DNA replication and repair.
Trim.
To make neat or tidy by clipping, cutting, or pruning away excess or unwanted parts. To adjust or modify to improve efficiency or performance.
Examples:
Trim a dog's nails. Trim the budget. I must trim the bushes in my front yard before they get too overgrown.
Homologous.
Having the same or similar structure, position, or function, particularly in different species or organisms, related by common ancestry.
Examples:
Homologous genes. Homologous structures. Homologous recombination is a process that can occur during DNA repair.
Prone.
Inclined or likely to do something or to show a particular characteristic, especially something bad, lying face downward.
Examples:
Accident prone. Prone to diarrhea. He was prone to making rash decisions.
Usable.
Able to be used, fit or ready for use or service.
Examples:
Usable technology. Usable as office space. The device is only usable when it is connected to a power source.
Separate.
to force, take, or pull apart. Mark is different.
Examples:
separate video into chapter, separate cream from milk. We need to separate the aspect of his personality from the part of his competence when making an investment decision.
Template:
a pre-designed file or document used as a starting point for a particular application so that the format does not have to be created from scratch.
Examples:
template file, template design. The template format provided a useful guide for creating the budget.
Cocktail:
a drink, usually an alcoholic one, made by mixing one or more spirits, equals strong alcoholic drinks, and fruit juice, an appetizer served as a first course at a meal.
Examples:
a light cocktail, cocktail of chemicals. We invited some friends for a cocktail party.
Cellular:
of or connected with the cells of animals or plants, of or connected with a mobile telephone system that uses several short-range radio stations instead of wires.
Examples:
cellular and molecular biology. A cellular phone handset. This factory employs a cellular manufacturing system.
Blueprint:
a photographic print of an early plan for a building or machine.
Examples:
blueprint for economic reform. Architect's blueprint. A business plan is a blueprint for your success.
Rebuild:
to build again or anew.
Examples:
rebuild a company, rebuild communities. They are planning to rebuild the house after the fire.
Defective:
having a flaw or fault that prevents proper functioning or usability, broken or imperfect in some way.
Examples:
defective gene, defective equipment. The defective product was promptly recalled for safety reasons.
Insert:
to put something inside something else.
Examples:
insert coin, insert a graphic. She inserted a new chapter into her manuscript.
Cyst:
a sac, cavity, or abnormal growth in the body that is typically filled with fluid or semi-solid material, usually benign but can also be cancerous and require treatment.
Examples:
cyst removal, ovarian cyst. The patient was sent for an X-ray to determine the cause of the cyst in her abdomen.
Fibrosis:
the formation of excess fibrous connective tissue in an organ or tissue, often associated with inflammation, scarring, or injury, a pathological condition that can affect various organs and tissues of the body, leading to impaired function and potential organ failure.
Examples:
Fibrosis diagnosis. Pulmonary fibrosis. The doctor diagnosed him with cardiac fibrosis, which put him at risk for heart failure.
Sickle.
A tool consisting of a short curved blade with a handle, used for cutting grass or grain, also a symbol associated with harvest or death.
Examples:
Sickle-shaped moon. Harvest sickle. The blade of the sickle glinted in the sunlight as he swung it back and forth.
Anemia.
A medical condition in which the body lacks enough red blood cells or hemoglobin, causing fatigue, weakness, or difficulty breathing, a lack of vitality or liveliness in something.
Examples:
Anemia symptoms. Anemia disease. The doctor diagnosed the patient with anemia due to a lack of iron in their blood.
Endless.
Having no end or conclusion, infinitely very large in size or amount.
Examples:
Endless possibilities. Endless hours. He looked out the window at the endless stream of people.
Yield.
The total output of crops, profits, etc. that are produced. Verb, to produce or supply helpful something, such as a profit, an amount of food, or information.
Examples:
Corn yield. The yield on the bond. The company's stock gives a high yield.
Mosquito.
A small flying insect whose female bites people and animals and sucks their blood, and sometimes transmits serious diseases such as malaria.
Examples:
Mosquito bite. Mosquito repellent. A stagnant water area are breeding ground for mosquitoes.
Transmit.
To send or forward an electronic signal, to pass something from one person or thing to another.
Examples:
Transmit the disease. Transmit information. Parents often transmit their characteristics to their children.
Malaria.
A severe disease caused by a parasite that is spread by the bite of an infected mosquito.
Examples:
Malaria mosquitoes. Malaria endemic area. Many people in tropical countries die from malaria every year.
Reprogram.
To modify or recreate a program.
Examples:
Reprogram a device. Reprogram a database. He reprogrammed the computer's operating system to remove the safeguard.
Cancer.
Abnormal growth of cells that can invade and destroy surrounding tissues and organs. A disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells.
Examples:
Cancer diagnosis. Cancer research. Breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in women.
Intent.
A strong determination or attention to do or achieve something. Adjective, having a strong determination to do or achieve something.
Examples:
The intent of a question. Intent gaze. The designer's intent was to create a minimalist aesthetic for the interior of the building.
Predict.
To state beforehand that something will happen in the future, mainly based on knowledge or experience.
Examples:
Predict the future. Predict when she will arrive. It's notoriously challenging to predict birth rates.
Implication.
Something that is inferred or indirectly stated, the act or fact of being involved in something.
Examples:
The implication in a crime. The implication of a word. His poem has a very significant implication.
Ethical.
Of or relating to principles about what is right and wrong, or the branch of knowledge dealing with these.
Examples:
An ethical doctrine. Shoulder ethical responsibility. The president must have the highest ethical standards.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.